announcing everywhere that they're not going to protect you from robbery and from looting and from grand theft auto, because the police are being converted publicly to 100% tax collectors and to crack the heads of blood bags, that's citizens, blood suppliers, for the parasite system. This is a total conversion to pure evil that is happening right now, and they mean to break our will through the depression we're now entering. We've been into depression for a while, but they're publicly now bringing us into deep depression. So this Hydra of the New World Order, this giant squid of tyranny, is dragging us to the bottom of the icy depths of despotism. But right now, let's go ahead and play this special video. I'm asking everyone to get the video and the audio at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and to get it out to everyone you know. The video is titled Road Warrior Level Collapse Imminent. It's also up on our YouTube channel. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, streamed live for the radio/TV viewing audience. My friends, the United States is transitioning from a free nation to a police state. The country as we know it is ceasing to exist on every front. Private central banks took over the United States in 1913. They've used us as an engine of global domination, and now they've basically run up the country's credit card and preparing to bankrupt this nation by design. Here's CNN. Central banks start to abandon the U.S. dollar. There's mounting evidence that central banks have little faith in the greenback these days. Can we blame them? Like they're the good guys and they're just trying to save us when they're the admitted authors of the catastrophe that is now unfolding. And I'm going to cover that information in a moment. But first, I want to define austerity. This is what the IMF and World Bank, the private holding companies for the private central banks, have done all over the world. They go in, they get countries in debt by design. It's all fiat loans that they give them, so they gain the world through nothing. It's like an Aladdin's lamp. It's just free money. But with it, they're able to conquer the world. That's what Thomas Jefferson said, that if you ever let private banks issue the currency and credit, our children would wake up homeless on the continent that our forefathers had conquered. And that's now happening. You look at the austerity systems they set up in the third world. It's now being done to Greece, to Spain, to the United States. They take giant loans that they can never pay back. Then when the society collapses, the very banks come in and loan them more fiat money. And now it's happening here. Notice what's developing in Arizona. Obama told Senator Kyle that, well, I'm going to let that crisis and all the thousands of deaths and lawlessness continue because this crisis is good to get amnesty passed. That's holding the country hostage. And what's happening in places like Ohio? Major sheriff departments are laying off more than half of their deputies and saying the deputies they're keeping are going to be there for revenue generation, writing you tickets, putting people in jail for unpaid fines, but not responding to crime. In fact, in one county, WKYC NBC reports that they're going to lay off the vast majority of their deputies from 112 to 49. But the sheriff's being honest there. He's saying, go out and buy a gun. You've got to protect yourself. And now the police in Oakland, California are holding the population hostage, saying, look, if we don't raise taxes, if we don't get more funding, we're not going to be able to respond to serious crimes. The police are saying we're not going to respond to grand theft auto, to burglary, to muggings, to all of these serious things. And as the government grows, you don't get essential services like bridges and roads being fixed. Those are falling apart. You don't get police and fire. Los Angeles is announcing they're not going to fix the sidewalks now. All you get is a parasitic government basically feeding off of you. And it's outrageous. The police are saying, we're not going to protect you. Now, the Supreme Court has always ruled that the police have no liability to protect you, that it's your job to protect yourself. They respond after a crime has been committed. But now they're being completely honest about this and saying, look, you're here for revenue generation for the government. But there's a lot of good news coming in. Arizona newspapers are reporting that the freeway speed cameras are being removed from the entire state because the vast majority of the population have have refused to pay the tickets. There is now non-compliance happening all over the state of Arizona, not only to the illegal alien invasion and the designed implosion of the country to merge us into the North American Union, which is officially stated by the last two White Houses. But now the public is wearing guns in the open. They're not paying speeding tickets. They're saying you're an illegitimate government and we're not going along with this, and the government is having to back off. Here's another example out of USA Today. There is a huge backlash against the naked body scanners. They admit they are recording your naked genitals. It is a biometric scan that's being stored. We've had airport employees getting fistfights when other employees make fun of the size of their sexual organs. And the airlines are getting upset because people aren't flying anymore. And the feds are starting to have to back off what they originally did. They were trying to break our will, to condition us, to make us submit. So the moral of the story is, when we say no, we can have an effect. And we've got to continue to say no, and say no in greater numbers, because the time is short. This orchestrated implosion of the world economy is a military form of financial terrorism. I told my listeners 11 years ago when they got rid of the Glass-Steagall Act that derivatives would be used to bankrupt our nation and every other wealthy nation, because I'd seen the very same private banks do this in the third world. And now here we are, 11 years later, it's happening. And whether it's the New York Times or CNBC, they are admitting that we are now in a depression. But even more importantly, the communist Chinese, who hold the majority of European and U.S. debt, have now downgraded the United States and Europe. They are turning us into actual debtor slaves. And suddenly the globalist think tanks are announcing China will be the future, and the base of the new one world government will be China. This is high treason by the leaders of our nation, who have always wanted to destroy this country and convert it to a collectivist system where they can manipulate and control every facet of our lives. The bad news is out there. We are going into a global depression. It has been engineered by design. But the good news is, worldwide, the population is waking up. And as Zbigniew Brzezinski said 2 months ago, that the elite are in trouble because for the first time in world history, the entire planet is awakening. Now is the most important time in modern history. Our society is at a crossroads, and everything you do to get the word out about this outrageous crime that's taking place brings us one step closer to defeating these people. We must say no to the new global currency and the SDRs. We must say no to devaluing the dollar. We must say no to financial reform bill that actually gives these bankers more control over our economy. We must stand up and defend the republic and restore our Constitution, and remember that the answer to 1984 is 1776. Thank you for watching. All right, my friends, that video, again, is posted at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. We're in a race to the finish line. We must expose the authors of this global meltdown. They are now posing as our saviors. They are being discredited. Their record profits are being noted at the expense of us all. Their open announcements of a planetary government and a worldwide one-child policy are being trumpeted. Everything we've discussed is unfolding. So we have a fighting chance, because many patriots for decades understood what was happening and warned their fellow humans, their fellow citizens. And because of that, because of your courage, we have a fighting chance now, but only a fighting chance. We can gain the advantage if you accelerate the amount of information you're getting out to everyone you know. The video you just watched is titled Road Warrior, Level Collapse Imminent. It is vital that everyone see it today. Please send it out to your email list, your MySpace, your Facebook, YouTube, other sites. We need millions and millions of people to read the article by myself and Aaron Dykes, and to watch that video that we produced for you to be able to crystallize what we face as a society. We're going to come back and take calls for the balance of the hour. Then, with Paul Joseph Watson, huge news blitz, and all of these key issues being broken down subject by subject in the second hour and the third hour, wide open phones, and continue news and analysis. It's all coming up straight ahead right here on the GCN Radio Network. Don't forget the GCN website, GCNlive.com.
When you hear the words water purification, what comes to mind? If it's Berkey Water Purification Systems, this message is for you. Did you know that over 60% of municipal water contains fluoride at less than 2 cents per gallon? Berkey water filters purify treated and untreated water, remove dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and contaminants from municipal water. These filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, making them perfect for rainwater collection systems. From the smallest to the largest systems, BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has what you need. With your system purchase, you'll receive a shower filter, a fluoride filter, or 2 Sport Berkey bottles absolutely free. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com would like to offer GCN listeners 5% off all ceramic filter systems and ship all orders over $50 free of charge. Visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. Or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY today.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship, body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest